this all in one video, see how it works. Basically, you guys understand these. You just take and you plug in the back end first. So this is find, if you're still struggling, that's g of f of 4. So basically do f of 4 first. So if I do f of 4, f of 4, and I'm going to do some of this math in my head there. Square 4 minus 4 is 0, square root is 0. And then if we do g of 0, you can see that it's going to come out to just 1. So 1's the answer to that one. G of negative 2 this time, so g of negative 2, so that's negative 4 plus 1. That's going to get you a negative 3 when you put that into that function. And then if we do f of negative 3, oh yeah, I remember I wanted to throw one of these in you. This gets you a square root of negative 7. So what happens there? That's actually undefined. Okay? All right, and then over here, g of 3, that's a GOG. Sorry. All right, so g of 3 equals 6 plus 1. You're going to get a 7. And then you do g of 7, and then 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. So we have ourselves an answer of 15 to that one. All right, so moving along here, hopefully you're starting to make a little progress on these. Domain first, you have to look at what's on the tail end. So when I look at g of x, I basically say that x cannot be negative 3. If x was negative 3, it would create 0 in the denominator. Now I got to take the entire g of x function and put it into the other one. So that's going to be 5 divided by, not x this time, but by the entire other function, which is x plus 3. All right, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom, or you can multiply by the reciprocal here, however you think about that. But I'm going to multiply top and bottom by x plus 3. And you're going to see that these cancel. On the top, remember we were struggling with this before, that distributes, so I'm going to get 5x plus actually 15 on top. Excuse me. You should not try to eat peanuts while you make a video. Sorry. And I'm back. But at the end here, hopefully you can see that x cannot be 0. Okay, so what's the composite function? So this right here, I'm going to save some time in the video. That will go right there. That is the composite function, okay? And the domain is everything that works. So we got negative infinity all the way up to negative 3, but negative 3 does not work. Union negative 3 all the way up to 0 because 0 does not work. And then union 0 to infinity. So that's that one. All right, so next one here. Just basically the other composite, g of f of x. So now when I look at f of x, I got to make a little note that right at the beginning we can't have 0. Okay, but then we go the other way. So the x in the g of x, so this is going to go over here and right there. So now we're going to have 5 over x divided by 5 over x plus 3. And then we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x. You know, why am I doing that? First of all, it's legal. Second of all, it creates the x to the complex fraction to be gone. So basically we have 5 on the top because the x's cancel. And then just make sure you distribute that through. So that leaves a 5 on the bottom plus 3x. Okay, so looking at domain now, this bottom is not allowed to be 0. So 5 plus 3x cannot be 0. So 3x cannot be negative 5, meaning x cannot be negative 5 thirds. So again, right here, I'm going to box this. This is the composite function. That would go right there. But if we're talking domain, negative infinity all the way up to, where's my first one? It looks like 0, so all the way up to, sorry, this should have been a negative right here. Just caught that. So all the way up to negative 5 thirds, union negative 5 thirds, all the way up to 0, and then union 0 to infinity. All right, so let's finish these last word problem here. Basically, just make sure you know what I'm asking for, what the problem is asking for. We want surface area as a function of time. Well, we have surface area as a function of radius, and we have radius as a function of time. But basically, we need to combo or make a composition of these ideas by substituting this in there. It's really just the substitution property. So I got 4 pi times r squared. Well, r is now 2/3 t cubed, but then I gotta square it. So this is going to be 4 pi times 4 over 9. 2/3 squared is 4/9, and then t to the 6th power. Power rule is to multiply those there. All right, so then clean it up a little bit. Over here, I'm basically just gonna write it all out. S of t is equal to 16 pi over 9, just cleaning that up a little bit, t to the 6th power, and then we got ourselves our function.